When you think millionaire, do you think Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce? Did you know that celebrities and famous people only make up 0.000086% of millionaires around the world? That means that 99.999914% of millionaires are your next door neighbors. Most people aren't out there flaunting their wealthy status. They're getting rich all on the DL. And today, I'm going to share the secrets that are making them rich without anybody noticing and how you can too. Hey there, and welcome back to Brick by Brick Wealth. My name is Franchini, and I teach aspiring real estate investors how to be successful with their very first rental property. Rich people are all around you. They're your next door 60-year-old neighbor wearing Wrangler jeans and drinking a whiskey Coke on the front porch. They're your son's kindergarten teacher that you saw at the restaurant last night. They're the woman in the grocery store line clipping coupons when she could buy the whole store cash. Those are the real millionaires. And where there are an infinite number of ways to get to where they are, if you follow these 9 simple rules to guarantee success, you'll be the millionaire next door in no time. But first, let me get a sip of my iced tea. Most people think getting rich means flashy cars, designer clothes, and showing off on social media. But the real wealth, the kind that lets you live on your own terms, that happens quietly, behind the scenes, while everybody else is too busy trying to look rich. It sounds simple, but most people get this wrong. They spend everything they make, or worse, more than they make. So in the end, there's nothing left to invest. Did you know that 67% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and that 67% has not even $1,000 in their checking account? They spend everything that they make. And then they think that getting rich is impossible, or only for the rich and famous. If you want to build wealth, you've got to flip the script. Every dollar you earn has a job. And that job isn't to buy you a bigger, better, fancier house. It's to make you more money. Here's the formula. Earn money, spend what you need, and invest the rest. Stop your whining and just need less. You get to where you are with sacrifice, not the YOLO philosophy. Put your money to work in things that grow, like stocks, real estate, and businesses. That's how you turn money into more money. And the best part, no one has to know. While everyone is trying to look rich, you're quietly getting rich. Gone are the days where an auto mechanic or a restaurant server can own a home, never mind retire a millionaire off a single salary. Which brings us to rule number 2. Multiple streams of income. Your 9-to-5 job, that's just one stream of income. And if that's the only income that you have, you are walking a tightrope with no safety net. One layoff, one bad economy, one problem at home and a broken leg, and you're in the hole. And suddenly you're scrambling. And that's not wealth, that's survival. Rich people, they don't just earn money. They collect it from different sources. They've got a paycheck, sure, but they've also got money coming in from rental properties, dividend stocks, a side business, heck, even maybe YouTube earnings. In our family, I count 6 unique income streams. And those income streams are bringing in a steady flow of business and money into our family. We are consistently building wealth and consistently building and adding more income streams. My husband and I own several long-term rental properties, each in their individual right are their own income streams. My husband makes money working for a marketing company. We receive annual dividend earnings from stocks, monthly income from a high-yield savings account. I run a rental property coaching business helping new investors with their first rental property. And my 13-year-old daughter has recently started a local sourdough bread and cookie business. But I didn't start off with a lot of money. I built my empire slowly without anybody noticing. I had $0 when I bought my first rental property. I started an Etsy business with 2 babies at home. I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't really have any skills. I bought items from the Dollar Tree, came home, personalized them, and resold them on Facebook and Etsy for anywhere from $5 to $25. In about a year and a half, I had saved out $20,000, and I used that to fund my first rental property. You can do this too. Let's say you have a regular job that covers your bills, but on the side, you run a small local business flipping furniture, flipping cars, selling digital products, mowing lawns, whatever. At first, it's just a little bit of cash, but over time, that extra income buys a rental property. Then that rental property starts cash flowing. The rental income now gets invested into dividend stocks. And now those dividends are paying you income too. It's a waterfall, the kind that doesn't dry up. This is how wealth is made. The goal isn't to grind forever. The goal is to build enough income streams that are working harder than you, so in the end, you can finally quit your job and live your life on your own terms. The biggest problem we have in America today is consumerism. It is the bane of our existence. So if you can avoid consumer debt, you are a mile ahead of most people. And that brings me to number 3, avoid consumer debt. Let's be real. Credit card companies love to prey on consumers. They want you and encourage you to just make the minimum payment. That's how they get rich while you stay broke. Did you know approximately 37% of Americans are in credit card debt? That means they're paying on average 24% interest every single month on crap they don't need. The second that you start racking up credit card debt for things that you don't need, like fancy vacations, new clothes, daily Amazon deliveries, the latest iPhone, you're making them rich, not yourself. And they're not just taking your money, they're taking your freedom. Imagine you've got $10,000 of credit card debt and you're paying 20% interest. If you only make the minimum payments, it's going to take you 5 years to pay that off. And by the time you're done, you will have paid $45,000 in interest alone. It's impossible to get rich when you're giving the credit card companies money like that. That's the money that you could have used to invest, to buy real estate, to buy assets, or just get ahead in life. And look, I get it. Sometimes emergencies happen, but that's why having an emergency fund is important. The goal is never to put yourself in a position where you're paying someone else just to use your own money. Wealthy people, they don't carry consumer debt. They don't finance their lifestyles. They invest in their futures. So if you've got credit card debt, make it a priority to pay it off. The less you owe, the more freedom you have. And trust me, financial freedom feels a lot better than that massive, expensive family vacation that you'll be paying off for months. Rule number 4, don't buy new cars, and especially don't have car payments. Did you ever notice how the brokest people have the nicest cars? That's because they're not actually buying those cars. They're financing them for 6 or 7 years, or just leasing them, and they won't even own the vehicle when it's all said and done. And that brand new car is losing value every single day. The second you drive it off the lot, boom, thousands of dollars gone. Let's say you finance a $50,000 car at a 7% interest rate. By the time you pay it off, you will have spent $60,000 on something that's only worth $25,000 in the end. That 60 grand is just gone. That's money that could have gone into stocks, real estate, or an income-producing business. Spend your money on things that actually make you wealthier over time. I bought myself my dream car this year, but we didn't buy it brand new. And we bought it cash. And I didn't buy it from working hard in 95. My investment income bought my car. Now, I'm not saying to drive a junker that breaks down every 2 months. I'm just saying be smart. Buy used cars, buy reliable cars, and buy them in cash and don't take on payments. Let the other guy take that depreciation hit and don't buy new. I can say with confidence, all of my millionaire friends that I know drove a beater car for years and years and years until they were multimillionaires, and then they finally bought themselves a nicer car, and even then, still not a new one. Because the truth is, rich people don't spend money on things that don't make them money. Broke people do. Now, this is a huge one, so listen up. Rule number 5 is buy assets, not liabilities. You ever wonder why some people work their entire lives always struggling, buying the latest designer this and that, going on fancy vacations, all trying to get rich? Meanwhile, there's others who are quietly building wealth in the background, never actually looking rich. It all comes down to what you spend your money on. Broke people, they buy liabilities. Diamond necklaces, big bling, expensive vacations they can't afford and they put on the credit card. Broke people buy things that make them look rich, but they're draining their bank accounts every month. Rich people, they buy assets, things that put money back into their pocket. Rental properties, stocks, businesses. Let me paint you a picture. 2 people each get a $10,000 bonus. Person A blows it on a vacation and a new iPhone. Person B uses it as a down payment for their rental property. 5 years later, person A has nothing to show for their money. But person B now owns a piece of real estate, and they're getting cash flow every single month from the income that generated from their initial investment. And speaking of rental properties, if you've been thinking about getting started with investing in your first rental property, I've got a free guide that breaks it all down. How to find the right property, how to finance it, and how to start building passive income. You can grab it in the description below. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today? That's exactly how investing works. And rule number 6 is utilizing compound interest. The earlier you start, the less you have to do. Say you invest $200 a month, but you started investing when you were 20. Let's say that it grows at 10% a year, which is about what the stock market averages. By the time you're 60, you'll have over $1.2 million. And that's off just a couple $100 a month. Now let's say you start at 30 years old instead of 20. Same $200 a month, same 10% growth. Except instead of ending up with 1.2 million, you end up with 400,000. All because you started 10 years later. And it's not just about you, it's about your kids too. Imagine opening an investment account for them when they're little, throwing in a few $100 here and there. By the time they hit adulthood, you've really given them a great financial start. Wouldn't it have been nice if someone did that for you? Would be nice if someone did that for me. Compound interest is the closest thing to free money that you'll ever get. The only catch is you need time for it to work. So the best thing you can do, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60 years old, is to start now. Okay, rule number 7 is stay consistent with investing. Most people treat investing like a diet. They start off really strong, and then after a few months, they're over it. The market goes up, the market goes down, and when it crashes, people panic, they pull out all their money, and they take their losses. But that's not what wealthy people do. Wealthy people ride the wave. They stay consistent. They know the secret. Just stay in the game. Whether the market is up, down, sideways, in or out, just keep investing and adjust your strategy. Back in 2008, when the housing market crashed, everybody was running scared. I remember. It was my second year as a real estate agent working with investors. People were selling homes at a loss. There were foreclosures and short sales. It was crazy. But the ones who had made it, the ones who are still investing today, millions and millions of dollars later, they are the ones that stayed consistent and continued to invest even when times got tough. And those people, bless your hearts, made insane wealth. A house you could have bought for $100,000 in 2010 is probably worth $300,000 or $400,000 today. And when it comes to real estate, it wasn't just the appreciation people earned. It was also the loan pay down and the rent checks they were getting every single month, among other things. If you want to know why people are investing in real estate, particularly more than stocks and anything else, I did a video on it. You can check the description box below. The lesson here is you don't get rich by timing the market. You just keep your time in the market. There's a lot of rich people out there who became wealthy through real estate. They did it quietly while nobody was watching. I know what they did. I know their secrets because I did it. I wrote a book on it. You can get it for free in the description below. Now, the next rule is hard, and it's very hard. And number 8 is avoid lifestyle creep. You ever noticed how some people make more and more and more money every year, but somehow they're still broke? Let me tell you, I know a lot of rich, broke people. And it's not because they aren't earning enough. It's because they're spending their money every time they make some. That's lifestyle creep, and that is the fastest way to stay broke forever, no matter how many hundreds of thousands of dollars you make a year. Here's how lifestyle creep happens. You get a raise, you get a new car. You make more money, you buy a bigger house. You get a bonus, time for a luxury vacation. Before you know it, you're making more than 6 figures, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck. The trick to getting rich without anyone noticing is to keep your lifestyle the same while your income grows. Instead of spending that raise, invest it. Instead of upgrading your car, buy a rental property. Instead of blowing your bonus, buy a dividend stock. If you want to quietly build wealth, here's the rule. When you make more, save more. Now, once you start really making that coin, this last rule is the most important rule. And it's number 9. Learn how to play the IRS game. And this is the number 1 thing that wealthy people understand that regular people don't. That taxes are your biggest expense. Think about it. Before you even get your paycheck, the government takes their cut. Then, when you get to spend what's left of it, you have to pay sales tax. And if you invest your money and you make more money, you have to pay capital gains tax. And if you own property, you have to pay property tax. And if you don't know the rules, you're paying way more taxes than you need to. Now, I'm not talking about shady loopholes. I'm talking about legal strategies written into the tax code that are keeping people wealthy. Last year, I used some of these tax strategies myself, and I avoided paying Uncle Sam over 6 figures in income taxes. And I did it all legally. Let's say you own rental properties, like we do. Did you know that you can deduct mortgage interest, depreciation, taxes, repairs, even the maintenance? That means while your property is going up in value, you're paying less in taxes every year. Or let's say you own a small business. You can write things off like your home office expense, travel, and even part of your car expenses. Meanwhile, the person who works at a 9-to-5 job pays taxes on every single dollar they make with 0 deductions. Even investing in retirement accounts like an IRA or a 401k has its benefits. You can grow your money tax-free or tax-deferred. That's thousands of extra dollars working for you today instead of going straight to the IRS. The government sure as heck isn't going to tell you how to pay less in taxes. But if you take the time to learn the game, you can legally keep way more of your money and build wealth without anyone noticing. If you follow these 9 rules to wealth, you'll be the millionaire next door, richer than snot, and no one even noticed. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things: like, share, subscribe. Let's have a chat in the comments below. If you have any special wealth building tricks up your sleeve, I would love to know. And until next time, keep building your wealth brick by brick.